Yo guys, Jollyman here. So we're just gonna go through um, a Looki game that he played recently versus Soup. He was just asking for some help in this matchup, so I said, look, hey, I'll give it a quick review and we'll go through this one. So I just had a very quick play fast flick through just to get a feel of the game. So now sort of watching it for the second time, try take this a little bit slower. First thing is I'm looking at this build. I don't want to spend too long on the build, but I might just show you how to do it after the game. But things aren't making sense here. Firstly, your berries are forward, okay, so you should be taking them. Um, Gazelle 150 Hunt is just like insanely inefficient. And you can make it efficient by spending the time and like microing it all in. But the reality is that this is just infinitely more efficient. And I always think it's better to start berries. That being said, Kronos, I would always just start the more forward food source. If my berries were tucked back here and my gazelle was super forward, if I was versus Kronos, I'd probably just take him. So in this case here, I think grabbing the forward makes the most sense. And in this case, you get the added bonus of the forward food resource just being better to take. Okay, so you just put the granary right in the middle, like really cleanly in the middle, so all the villagers can walk around, and then you just put one on each berry. Okay, and it's just going to be a lot cleaner. Now the other thing issues that I have is that Ra's bonus is empowerment, but as you know, you only get 70% off here, so you're missing food, and you've got to justify to me what you're missing it for. To send a priest into the darkness who can't even make an obelisk yet. This isn't making any sense, okay? So the way you need to start is your priest needs to be in your base, and your pharaoh needs to empower the food. So your priest needs to empower the monument up, okay? And then your pharaoh will get full drops off these villages, which is going to be a lot better. Your monument's still going to come up faster at a priest empowerment rate. And then you're going to make your mining camp, which will get empowered up as well. Okay, so you're just going to have a much more efficient start. Right now, you're down resources, and this guy is playing Spotlight for fun. You know, where is everybody? I'm going to find you. Yeah, so this doesn't make sense. So I'll show you the opening after the game, but yeah, this is in my opinion a really sloppy opening to Ra. The thing about Ra is he is an economic god, and these things do matter for Ra, in my opinion. Look, maybe I wouldn't go this hard on like a Zeus build order or something, you know, I don't know. But for Ra, this matters, okay? So anyway, we fucked around talking about that for a while, but we'll sort of crack in. So I won't go too hard on the build, so we'll just kind of slip through. The next thing I did want to talk about is your obelisk placements, because this is really, really important in this matchup, and pretty much every matchup for Ra, but I feel like Atlantean, especially Kronos, is quite big. So it's a very, very easy formula to this. The maps are kind of mirrored, right? So if we're here, right, the middle of the line here, we know he's here, okay? So we just turn like, boom, like you can see how, you know, this gap from your tower to here with the town center is like kind of this space here to here. You know where his town center is just from your one, okay? So the way I do this is I will go to like here where I think is like town center is, and then basically I want to create a clean ring of obelisks around his base, and I want to capture his forward town center, his back town center, and his base. So if this were me, I'd have my priest and I would send him here, right? So we go like revealed. So here, we're going to drop our first obelisk like here, empower it, and we're going to capture the space. And then I'm going to walk here and then put the next one like here, and then that's going to get a lot. And then the last one is going to go like here, okay? And basically you'll get 3 obelisks. They'll be up very, very early. You'll know exactly what he's doing. You'll see all of his villages. You'll know exactly when he starts a town center. And also he can't leave his base, right? He cannot leave anywhere forward with any unit without you knowing, okay? So it's really important we get this obelisk scouting properly too. Okay, we'll fast forward a little bit. Yeah, the next thing I noticed was this, okay? So we got a couple of issues here, is that there's like there's kind of like a spot here, right? That if he plays full aggressive with Terma and he just sits here, like he ups like, I don't know, 330 or 4 minutes, and he like time shifts in, and then he can just kind of like auto queue, well not auto queue, but just create Terma to sit on here, and then your gold mine's looking really silly. These houses are like too close. Basically, this one is fine here. I think your temple should be here, although I don't hate it here because it will get deconstructed. But this house is like okay, but it needs to come out. It needs to come out. These houses need to start coming out to here. And then you just need to build a little wall here. Or you can fully house it. I don't like fully housing it. The reason being is it's a space that I can't access anymore. So I can't come through here with units. But yeah, I would go like house to here and then wall, okay? And then your gold mine's safe. But yeah, in this game, it doesn't affect, but like, yeah, this isn't good. So we up like 430. Which I don't really like. I just think you should be always 4-minuting versus Kronos. Because if he like cheesed you 330 and then you've got like a minute of like shit to deal with, it doesn't feel like super good. Obviously, I build what we're going for here. The split looks kind of fine, okay. But yeah, I think you should be 4-minuting. I could maybe live with a 415. I feel like 430 is starting to get too late. And if you're upping 430, you can actually have 2 monuments. So you've done a 430 without 2 monuments. So as we can see, the builds are just like, you're just already really, really behind, like build order-wise. So he's going to come get some pressure. As you can see, if you had eaten the berries and you are on the gazelle now, you don't get any idle time. I know it's a very small amount, but he still idles you. The other thing is we've not made a second priest, okay? We've got 300 gold in the bank, and this guy's got his work cut out from him. This poor fella is trying to walk the whole map and put all the obelisks up. You should be making a second one well before this comes in as well. Oh no, you've got 2 priests. Okay, I see. I mean, you can even make another. What I really want is like you putting obelisk here at the same time. I just want this whole map lit up. So we could have made another one, and especially if you're going for a classic fight, then you could have easily made another priest here as well. So we go for our barracks. The issue is now, like it's 4:30. So right now, if you had done a 4-minute, as you can see, this comes up so fast with the empowerment. You also didn't make your second monument away while you're advancing, so that's another thing. But look how quickly this comes up. And if you 4-minuted, you know, you're not going to stop this, but this is a big problem for him. These forward berries, the chickens he can keep kind of safe, but the forward berries and double forward gold mine is like a really, really big issue for him. Your goal here is really to get him like get through these goats and make it like really hard for these gold mines to exist, okay? So I respect the 1 base play. I think it's doable, but you have to play it really, really clean, and I think you have to play it better than the defensive player. I think that's just how Age of Mythology works, in my opinion. I think the onus is on the aggressive player not to make too many mistakes, while the defensive player just has to survive. In other games, I think it's around the other way, where the defensive player has to really get everything perfectly clean and then can win with the greed. Yeah. So anyway, this is your issue, right? Like he's on here. So 445, you would have like 2 spearmen out right now, and they would be here with your second Wadjet. And this gold mine, right? And look at his gold situation. Like this guy can't make buildings, right? Like if you're in his face right now, this is like getting really difficult for him to even make like a counter barracks, right? So the fact that we're up so late means we're going to really struggle to punish this. Because if we are here now, like these buildings, the tower up, any eco upgrades, making any military, like things are going to get a little bit difficult. Like he's going to have to like sweat some micro, use his like valors. You know, he will get gold. Like we're not going to win the game here, but we can do a lot here. But unfortunately, what's going to happen is it's now 5:20 in the game, 5:30. He's gathering a lot that he shouldn't have access to, right? Okay. So we got double barracks. Honestly, if you're upping 430, you should be opening 3, I think. Like, yeah, anyway. Okay, so here we just have to hit these guys. I know you're trying to kill this tower, but like, watch how long he gets away with murder here for. So it was like just before 6:30, I don't know, like 6:28, 6:27. There's little things like these that just like matter so much. So he's 20 seconds. So he's gathered with like 5 villages for 20 seconds at 1.2 a second. So 20 times 1.28 times 5. Like we just gave him 130 gold, which is like really, really huge. It's like 3 units or something, or, you know, whatever it is, that he shouldn't have gathered here. So we need to make sure we do this properly. So yeah, these are the other issues. So these, by the way, shouldn't happen, especially with Ra. Especially with Ra. Like Ra is the biggest denier of this stuff. So we can see why this is happening, and it's because we've not made the obelisks. So our second priest, or even our third priest, we've not gone and filled the entire map. It should be 1 obelisk here, here, here. There should be 1 here. There should be 1, 2, 3, 4 here. And there should be like another 1 down here. And you're starting to make that one here, so that's good. But this map needs to be full by now, 100%. And none of these oracles should be existing outside the map. So we've basically let him overgather gold. We've let him overgather favor. We've up too late. And so now we're struggling because he's banked like 400 gold somehow without making a unit, right? He's not made a unit. So it's 7:15 in the game. We've been classical for 3 whole minutes, and he's gathered over 400 gold without making a single unit. So we're in a really tough spot now. This is going to be really, really hard to win. So if this were me in this position now, what I would have done is I would have played, basically I would have played with like this amount of units, and I would have controlled these gold mines, and I would have forced him to make enough units to get his gold mines back. And I would have cut production, and I would have taken a town center, at least to try match and you know, like stay reasonably even on villages. And I would have taken a town center, I think. Your other option is to go balls to the wall. But as you can see, you would have had to have played all of the start sequences a lot cleaner. And then I think you can play like 1 TC. It's definitely possible. And you can win by outmassing gold draining. So cup options, I don't want to ever fall into this like you have to do this, right? I think you can play classic here. I think you could have taken a town center around now. You know, I think there's options and there's play styles, and I think you should mix and match between them. And it's probably more about execution. So yeah, we get a little bit of pressure here. So this is the other thing, we're making a massive mistake here. See how we can't really see anything? You get it up now, which is good. But there's been some times here, I kind of missed it unfortunately, but there was a period where he only had 1 Cairo Ballista, just like chilling here, just outside of like your unit's vision. And when you have like 10 slingers, like they can just walk under the TC and just one-shot it, right? So we're missing a lot by not having like more aggressive vision. I know you're doing it, but you've done it now. But once again, we're 8 minutes in the game and now we're doing it. So everything's just a bit behind and slow. So we should empower this now, right? Empower that. And then you can see what's going on. And then we can maybe like come in here and snipe some things. But as you can see, like all of his villages are just like completely not hassled at all. Like they're absolutely chilling. He got his gold that he needed for a bit. He's got like kind of just enough units. He's not really lost the villager. He's 20 villages up on you. So when we see like Terma Cairo like this, we're still making spears, I think, or we're kind of stopping. Yeah, we need to be very careful in the Spearman now, as soon as he gets 2 or 3 Cairo out, because they become very, very weak. 14's quite a lot. And we've kind of played a bit static. I feel like the Spearmen should have been split at some point. The Kairos, like, the Kairos have most value when they just sit here and fight for this gold mine, and they just sit right there. They really suck if you've got 8 Spearmen here and 8 here. He's going to find that really annoying as well. So I think when we get to this point in the game, the Wadgets and the Slingers are going to probably like win these fights out. So we need to look at like poking with the Spearman around and trying to move him a bit. So we come in here. So we really can't have the Spearman hitting this many Promethean here. So this A click into this fight's really, really bad. And so now we micro the Slingers. So basically what we want to do here is we just want to like send all of the Spearmen straight onto the Terma and attack them. And then Slingers instantly on the Cairo Ballista here. We don't really care about 2 Prometheans. You've got 2 Wadgets. They do really, really good into Myth. And you've got a Priest. I do want about 3 or 4 Priests by this time, by the way. But this fight is a mop for you with proper micro. And it's all your spears on the Terma. And then it's Slingers instantly on the Cairo Ballista. And he kind of recognizes it's like an average position. We're going to snipe this guy. Really good. There's really nothing killing your Spearman here, by the way. Once you kill this Cairo, like, I'm not too phased. Like, I don't think you realize how hard you melt all these Terma. So I think you can stick around in here and fight. But we run back and our Slingers do DPS. Yeah, we like see if they start attacking here. See how we're really hurting. We just need to keep them on there. And if your spares are all still here and not attacking these guys, right? Basically, these Prometheans, like I said before, Wadget Priest, they're just on them. And the spares need to be running at these guys. Because as soon, look at their 14 range and these guys are 17. So basically what you're saying is when you get into range of me with these guys are going to be absolutely murdering them, okay? So they shouldn't really be able to hit your slings like this. Instantly snipe this. Yeah, so the micro needs a lot of work. This fight should have been like a complete mop, but it's really even because your counter units have been hitting Prometheans. And so with 7 Terma, he kind of beats you for no reason whatsoever. Alright, so this is all micro right now. You should have killed pretty much every unit and lost like 2 or 3, in my opinion. But Egyptian's hard because it's hard. Egyptian's the hardest like military to control in micro. So it takes a bit of practice and getting used to. But yeah, this was an easy fight. But now that we lose it and we're behind on vills, in my opinion, the game's actually over now. I think it's very, very difficult for you to win here. You're also going for heroic, which I don't know how I feel about. I think you're better to take a TC and just play full classic fight here because of his forward gold mines. He can't ever go heroic himself unless he secures them and like wins a big fight, right? He can't get 500 gold with double forward gold mines. So I think your heroic choice is really, really poor this game. I think you should be taking a TC and fighting. So micro and decision making here. And we're going to go through Sobek, which I don't really understand. This game doesn't have the feel of win one fight, win the game, because he's 2 TC. If you're both 1 TC fighting it out, then I can kind of get it. But right now, like, he hasn't lost any villages. Like, I don't know, he could lose his army 3 times over and everything's still fine. So killing his army, I don't think wins you the game. But it's an option. It's an option. I think Sekhmet here is better, but like I said, I don't like the heroic call at all here. It doesn't make much sense to me. We get a raid finally. Is this our first field kill at 10 minutes? this shifting sand, I think we got 3. I don't like it. I really, really don't like it. Because all it does is means he just starts gathering from here. And he can throw away, like, how many vills at this point? Like, he's basically, like, if I think Soup is this big brain, and I think this is potentially what he's done, is he's gone, I'm going to send 3 or 4 vills here. And I'm completely willing for them to die, because it will open up this. For you to, so what you need to do is realize that that's his play. Is basically what he's saying is like, I'm gonna gather this. If he sees it, I get an advantage from it because I get these mines. But if he doesn't see it, I also get an advantage. So it's like a win-win play for him. So the way you counter this play is you have to send like 3 units, 3 spears, okay? And you have to keep all the pressure still here. And basically with the 3 spears, you're gonna kill 1, maybe 2, and idle them all. Maybe 1 gets home, I don't know. But then he doesn't get to gather from here. So this is your problem. He gathers from here, right? And we're going to see he's pretty much going to get the gold he needs for Heroic. Or upgrades or whatever. So this is really, really big for him. And now we've gone Heroic and we've lost all the tempo in the game. So we've spent 1,300 resources to go Heroic, which gives us a Locust. Don't know, not much. And then we've wasted one of the best gold powers in the game to kill 3 citizens on someone who's like 30 citizens up on you already. So, as I said before, when you lost this fight, I thought it was over. Now it's like definitely over. So anything that happens after this point has really nothing to do with decision making, unit comp, anything like that. You're simply just behind. You're just completely behind. Yeah, so it's hard to talk about the game from here, but we will. So we're putting down a Migdol Stronghold, which I don't like, because they're really expensive. He's making Terma and Cairo Ballista, so I think you need to drop a siege workshop here, and you need to research heavy slingers. Ideally your Sekhmet right now, because then you would have a Scarab, then you would get your slinger upgrade, you would get heavy slings, I don't mind you getting heavy spears, you would drop a siege camp and you'd make 2 or 3 siege towers, and you would just face tank all of this shit with your siege towers and Scarab, okay? That's the purpose of them. Then he has to keep microing his units, and the siege towers will carry these fights hugely for you. The other thing you can actually do when he's only got like 1 hero and you have this many Wadgets, just move your Wadgets into the front, okay? They're going to tank all of this stuff. Right now, like, you're front tanking with slingers, and they're taking a lot of damage from this. You know, as much as they do well into them, they also get wrecked by them. Your priests and your Wadgets don't take any bonus damage here, so you should actually be playing them in front, and then your slingers behind them, okay? And then basically your spearmen are there to pull his Cairo Ballista out of position so your slingers can snipe him, okay? So your spears will come in, he will look to shoot them, you run off, and then when the Kairos just get pulled out a little bit, then you've got it's an easy micro to kill them. So yeah, Migdol Stronghold, like I said, I think this is a mistake. I think the Heroic's a mistake, but how we would play this out, ignoring these mistakes, is the Siege Camp, the heavy upgrades, the Pierce upgrade, and then Siege Towers. We need to push, right? We have to push. We need to kill his buildings and production, and we need to pressure these gold mines. Okay, so we're pushing back a little bit here. Let's have a look. Ooh, which way?
Into you.
I guess he's got 1, 2. I think we just like turn all of these onto the hero, right? One shot, one shot, one shot, one shot, everything. Okay, you're getting it. Yeah, we're running with, so look at this. This is 5 Wadgets, okay? This is a huge amount of DPS. If you retreat all 5 Wadgets from 1 hero Terma, this is really, really bad, okay? So we have to retreat the one that's shooting him. That's fine. I agree with that. Or we just like, when he's only got 1 hero like this, just fucking everything, kill the hero, okay? The issue is, as you can see here, is that if we had 4 Wadgets doing DPS now, like all of these guys are dead, like instantly, right? So we're getting out microed in a lot of these fights. But like I said, Egyptian micro's hard. It will take practice and playing. You have to kind of get things right. And yeah, you can see how we've been focusing on something else, I assume, and we lose a lot here. Do we get ballistics? Okay, really important we get ballistics as soon as we get heroic on our slingers. Okay, so now we start making camel, which I don't hate. But I think you really need siege towers. Really need siege towers. Okay, so look at this position here. This is a fantastic position right now. So I like the rock. It needs to be on the gold mine, okay? So we set the rock on this gold mine, and we need to be on him, right? Like, I don't think you realize how much ahead you are, okay? So this was a moment we could have got a lot of damage in, but we're gonna wait, and we're gonna let him repop and build 2 towers. So if I said the game was over before, it's even more over now, okay? So we missed a big window here. Okay, eco ups. Oh geez, really? No husbandry. We went through all these goats with no husbandry. Husbandry is not massive for the farms, but are you researching plow now? Okay, you've got it. Yeah, I think this is too late to rain. I think it's too late. I think you should be raining earlier, and I think you should have 3 or 4 monuments by now. And then you could like snowball catch up with just like 2 or 3 rains in a row or something like this. But yeah, anyway. We can talk about rain timings and stuff for another day. I don't want to get too hung up on it in this video. But yeah, I think it was a little late this game, but that's okay. Alright, so this should be a mop. You kind of win this fight really hard. So yeah, there's nothing here that's killing the spearmen, right? Like there's one Cairo ballista, and you kind of just one-shot it with a few of the slingers, right? Like if I was these, like, and how many priests do we have? 4. Yeah. So basically we go Wadgets and priests, like behemoth, right? And then with these spearmen, we just get them, like, they gotta go onto these Terma. They can even just run through and kill the Cairo. There's nothing wrong with that as well. I think the best thing though is your camels just come kill the Cairo, right? All this dodging with the camels, like from a unit that's doing 6 damage, like fuck it, who cares? Ignore it. Just run around. He doesn't have ballistics, he'll fucking miss you anyway. Run around, hit the Cairo, put the spearmen, just spread him out and just get him on the Terma. And then obviously your main micro is I would put these on, like, I play with them on control group 2. I don't care what you do. Priests and Wadgets all on the same control group, and then I'm just going to make sure that they kill them. And then once I've got them on the behemoths first, then I'm going to start microing my slingers, right? I can take 3, I can take 3, I can take 3, whatever, okay? But yeah, we are not doing like any damage for like a lot of this fight. Kill this. Yeah, we don't kill that. And then see our slingers are like killing Prometheans again. Killing Prometheans again. All of these Terma should be dead. Okay, so we're going to go raid this. As you can see, shifting sands would be amazing now. A lot more value on a shift sand here. The camel should have come with the spearmen. I don't know why they didn't, but that's okay. We're making axemen now because we have the Murmelo, but I think bone bow chariots are just completely fine here. The Terma never get in range. They're 15 range versus 21 or whatever it is. And yeah, if the Terma ever want to get in range of the chariots, then the camels and the slingers are just gonna fucking murder them too. So I think you need to switch into camel chariot right now. I love siege towers. I also love an elephant to tank some things here. Although right now some Axeman is okay because he's not made Arcus, but he is going to now. So I think it's going to be an issue. We completely win this fight as well, in my opinion. What have you got? You've got 8 Axemen, okay. So you got 8 Axemen and you've got all the Wadgets, okay. So these Murmelo, yeah, you win these fights. But anyway, yeah. This isn't the one. So the thing about God powers, in my opinion, is if you don't need to use them, then don't, right? So this here, you win this situation, this whole like sequence of events. Your army's stronger. His palace is already really low. You basically just send the camels onto the vills, and then you send your Axemen, and then all of these guys just kill these guys, right? And then whatever, it's easy. So we don't need it, right? We completely mopped this fight, as you can see, and he dodged most of your tornado damage. Now we want shift sands. How good would shift sands now be, right? We shift straight to here. The other thing is that you can be doing this multiple times in a game, but you need 4 monuments, okay? So it's really important that you prioritize getting 4 monuments of Ra. It really opens up Ra for like multiple reigns, multiple shift sands, myth units, plus all your upgrades. If you don't have 4 monuments, then either you're fucked up or your opponent's playing really well and you're just not able to afford them, okay? But 4 is the gold standard, okay. Imagine tornado now, right? And so now we have full Arcus, Murmelo, so this is full chariot situation, right? This is full champion chariots with bone bow. And you're winning here, okay? So I think chariots are really valuable. The issue is like if he makes Terma all game, like thing is if he makes like 30 Terma, right, and you've got like 30 chariots, the chariot's DPS is still really good enough to match the Terma. And then if you just have like 5 camels or 1 siege tower that all of a sudden sits in front of the fight, then you win the fight. So yeah, I just think you should make chariots into Atlantean. I still think it's really, really good. You don't really care about Terma Lake too much. Yeah, okay, we just got absolutely obliterated. The issue here now is, yeah, he's a little out tech on you. Yeah, you can see how full chariots would kite this and completely wreck it. Slingers don't work with kiting because of their like fire rate and just how they were. They're just like not as effective. They just need to stand still and do DPS basically. Can't really kite with them, but the chariots you can. This last like 30-minute sequence is like chariot archers are just winning you this here. But now, like, you can see the issue. It doesn't really matter. His 3 town centers fortified. He's about to hit mythic. He's just astronomically ahead in so many ways. He did catch up on villages, but I think you're just way behind on techs and economy. And we can Dark Water now. Yeah, this one's pretty much over now. Yeah. So, as you can see, the issue with our Horus pick as well is we didn't have the favor for like anything, right? You've got the Horus axe at least, but yeah, we've got a bit of favor now. But like, we need to be talking like 4 Avengers, right? This isn't just one that gets stolen by Kronos, right? We need favor here. Okay, so I'll just show you how to open. Okay. Actually, before we do that, let's just talk about the main issues here. So first one was our our uptime. Okay, I think this is too slow versus Kronos. I think it should be 4 minutes. I'll let you do 4:15s. Why is that showing up? Second was just like the lack of pressure early. When he had basically, he was really weak. Forward gold mines, forward berries, no units, right? And we missed. 3 is micro. Micro was huge, as you could see. There was like probably 3 or 4 fights lost that should have been complete wipes. 4, I think our heroic timing. Ra isn't like a heroic timing push god, okay? There isn't like a big GP. There isn't like some massive techs or something. You really want to be a bit more steady here. So the heroic and timing was wrong. So I think this should have been TC classic fight, or even just like keep going full pop, 1 TC, then go second TC, many options. I think heroic god choice is another big one here. I think it should be Sekhmet with bone bow. 6 is our unit comp. It needs to be chariots plus tank. Okay, and this is Scarab, Alley. I can't spell. Scarab, Alley, Siege Tower. Is it this way? I never know. Siege Tower. Okay. We need them to soak the Arcus damage and allow our chariots to do the damage out. Okay. Basically, we were just playing with a backline the whole game. And as you found out, Axemen and Spearmen don't cut it in Heroic versus Atlantean because the Arcus, their range is too big. So you need to make units that just ignore the Arcus, basically. And these guys ignore Arcus, and then these guys kill Arcus. Okay. Let's say more monuments, and then GP usage as a whole has been pretty poor with Ra. I think you need to rain a bit earlier, and use shift better, or allow multiple users of it. Okay, so they're kind of the main things. Obviously, all my yapping in the video, you can look into that. So I'll show you very quickly the opening. And the thing about this opening is you can do this opening and up whatever fucking time you want, and with however many monuments you want all the time. Okay, so looks like a shitty map. It's not Nice Shallows. Fuck. Blue Lagoon. You can do something in Blue Lagoon. You're usually pretty fine. So we're going to just go berries just for the example. So like this, make sure this is getting all the things we need, and then our priest can start doing this. Villager should just go into berry straight away. So they're like gathering, and then we're going to go 3, and then once he does the monument, and then he goes there. Okay, so we've got 3, this guy doing this, and then we go to gold. So he's going to do the monument, then the gold, okay, and then now we're going to go to our food. And then what this means is we're not missing any food drops here. We're kind of mid-maxing out on this. And then this guy's going to go, you know, wherever to make. But what it'll mean is as soon as he's like out on the map, see how like 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, we can drop an obelisk like straight away wherever we want, right? And then this guy's got the thing. Now we go here, and then basically we make sure we don't miss any drops. So we just like check these guys. Cool. Okay, now we're not going to miss any drops. We power this. And then next time these guys drop, we're going to get pickaxe straight away. Just like that, okay? So basically, we've missed 2 drops of gold that haven't been empowered, all right? So But then we've got more drops on every single food villager. So all of these 6 villagers, every time they've dropped off so far in this game, we've got maximum empowerment. And now we're going to increase the research time, we're going to get more gold, and we're going to do all the food together now cleanly on this. Okay, so this is how I think you should open. And then obviously in this Kronos matchup, you know, you would send your priest here, 1 obelisk, 2 obelisk, 3 obelisk. Okay. All right. Look, I know it's a lot of waffling and a lot to listen to, so hopefully that helps somewhat. Yeah, let me know if you have any questions. We can have a chat, talk about it. Jump in the DoD Discord, whatever. But yeah, hope you enjoyed that one. Cheers, guys. Yeah, so I just want to quickly go over some of the post-game stats for this one. Just flick through some we don't need to talk about all of them too heavily. But yeah, look, as you can see, the civilian graph, you know, we really haven't found much damage here, but that's fine. People play well and don't lose vills, but that's just to show you. Military units, we kind of say ahead, but you can see here, we are up 15 units. And we lose 15. And then he loses, say 17 to 7. He has made a few, like 10. So with double the units, he's trading like way too close to you. So we can see this is like micro fight issue, right? So with this many units, the reality is that you should probably only lose like 3 or 4. Maybe a couple more than that, something like that. But yeah, you should be kind of just flattening him. Same again here, 30 to 20. We lose quite a few units, but you know, we lose about the same. So he's trading evenly with you, right? Even though he's down units. See how he's just trading evenly? And then we get to here, and then look at this period from here to here. So from here to here, what god power is this? That's a rain. So from here to here, we are like massively outclassing him on units, right? And so this period, this 3-minute period, we didn't do what we needed to do, particularly in a heroic. You know, imagine we move this heroic a bit later, right? You know, like, does it really need to be here? We move it a bit later. We have maybe a town center, a bit more eco, things are kind of going on. Maybe we can play this window better. Whatever we do, it doesn't matter. The point is that this window wasn't played enough. Seems like we do find some good trades here, but then once again, we're not securing anything, and it's probably just the size of our economy. It's just unable to like do much after these two. We kind of take a fight and recover. He's recovering from them much more, and then finally, look, as soon as he gets full pop, you just lose the game, right? So that's looking at the military. That all resources collected, we can just see we are super far behind. If we look at like this point in the game, being down 10,000 resources, it's just like really, really big. So this is what I kind of meant by when I said in the video, I'm not worrying about the unit comp heavily in this scenario, because basically when he got to full pop, he just beat you because he is this far ahead, right? We look at favor, total favor collected. We're getting way out favored. For some, you had map control. So his oracles are at risk, and then you have monuments, which are completely safe, right? So we should be getting way more favored than him. So other than that, yeah, so we're trading evenly, 15 vil kills. Yeah, so you can kind of see. You're going to have to trade up a lot more here, but that's okay. All right. So yeah, look, just want to tack that one onto the end of the video. Just thought it's always good to look at that stuff. I don't think there's too many other stats that we need to look at. These are super bugged, eh? That's super weird. Anyway, we'll leave that one there.